Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Michael, and I'm exploring all the different ways that stationery can bring me joy. As we get to the middle of November, I'm getting more and more excited about setting up and getting started in my 2026 planners and journals. I love the end of the year. I love winter, when fall turns over into the crisp cold air. I know some people find this to be kind of gloomy or kind of, frankly, depressing, but it is when I start to have all the different things that I love and appreciate kind of come to the forefront. I love having, time off from work. I love spending time with my friends and family. I love chilly air and delicious warm drinks. I love fall and winter fashion, layering, the crunch of the leaves under your boots on the street. New York becomes such an amazing place to walk around, honestly, because it's actually comfortable to walk around because you're not dying of the heat. But it is my favorite time of year, and now, being part of the stationery community, I get to add another layer of joy to this season, and that is getting set up for the new year. I shared a video previously where I walked through all of my different notebooks and planners and how I'm planning to use them. And I thought today I'd like to expand upon that by looking in my Hobonichi Cousin and getting set up my monthly pages for how I'm going to use them. I gathered together all of my sticker sheets, my washi, and other, things, bits and bobs that I have to decorate, ephemera, etc., the different spaces in my notebooks and journals to kind of start getting the monthly pages pre-set up so that I have them ready as each month rolls around. I don't know about you, but I know that the monthly pages, if I leave them to set up every month, unless I'm really diligent, it'll be 2 weeks into the month and it's kind of blank, sparse, and perhaps I've used it for its intended purpose, but sometimes even because I didn't set it up, I kind of put off what I'm intending to do with it, and it kind of falls to the wayside. That's definitely one of the reasons why my monthly plan in my journal this year, in my Hobonichi A6 Techo, because I didn't pre-set up that space, and every time I wanted to go look at it, I realized I had double the work to do. So I figured this year I would kind of solve that problem for myself by doing some pre-work at my desk now in November. So, the Hobonichi Cousin is going to be my personal journal this year. And you can see I've already put a clear cover here on the Cousin. This is a Midori Codex A5 plastic cover. It's supposed to go over the Midori notebook that is a 365-day notebook, so it's a little bit thicker than the regular A5 cover that Midori creates. You'll see that there's a little bit of extra space or wiggle room here on the Hobonichi Cousin, and that's totally fine because as this chunks up over the year, I know it'll fill up that extra space. I had discussed earlier in my previous video that I want to use these monthly pages as a space to collect gratitude, to draw doodles, to print photos, to put ephemera related to a theme for each month. In this video, I'm going to go over decorating each of the months and revealing what the theme for that month is going to be. I had somebody in my comments ask what themes I was going to use. If I can find that comment, I'll put it here. And I thought, what a fun way to be able to reveal them to you as I also decorate. I'm going to be using all sorts of washi tape and stickers and other little pieces of ephemera and torn paper to decorate each of these months and make sure that I have a spread set up so that that ephemera can be collected. It was almost serendipitous that a couple of weeks ago IEEBEE reached out to me offering to send me some journaling supplies. One of the things they sent me was a pack of Minimalist paper samples in a crease motif. I love the crumpled torn paper style, and this little pack of paper ephemera is definitely something I'm going to use a lot, not only in setting up these monthly spreads, but in my spreads in my journal moving forward. They come in 3 different sizes, and that makes it really easy to figure out which kind of spread you want to use it in without wasting too much paper. They also graciously sent me this box collection of washi tape inspired by Van Gogh's paintings. This box collection contains 36 washi rolls that span many different Van Gogh works. What's lovely about them is they also come in a variety of widths, and many of them include a very beautiful gold foiling detail. The tapes in this collection are either full replicas of Van Gogh paintings, like the one that I'm showing off right here, or it's just a subtle motif that pulls from one of his paintings that creates a pattern that you can use to decorate your page. The washi in this collection is really good consistency. The stickiness is sticky but not overly sticky, where I feel like if you pull it up you're going to be in danger of tearing your journal page, which is a travesty. There is a substantial amount of washi on each roll, but what is amazing about this is just the variety that you're going to get with 36 different patterns in one box. This wide variety of washi is going to be a favorite in not only creating the decorations for the monthly sections in my journal for next year, but in many of my journaling spreads that I'm going to be making in the upcoming year. If you're interested in getting some IEEBEE washi for yourself, there's a link in my bio that will get you a 30% discount. And so, with that, it's time for me to say goodbye to you and to put you in the capable hands of voiceover Michael. I hope that you find some of these setup spreads inspiring and that it makes you think about a fun way to decorate your journal for the upcoming year. So, for the month of January, I got started right away by picking out some washi tape that I thought would match the theme well, and finding some of that creased paper ephemera to help label the month. For this monthly spread idea that I have going, I decided that I was going to use one sticker sheet to represent each month to kind of help keep it simple and create more of a cohesive aesthetic for each month. Now, while I don't think that mixing stickers is necessarily bad or creates a bad aesthetic, I just wanted to try and keep myself constrained so that within a constraint I could accomplish my goal a little bit easier. Sometimes when I have a plethora of options, I get frozen and can't move forward. So I chose a kind of purplish, bluish, washi tape, and then found some tan and starry blue ephemera, and then a sticker sheet that had mostly blue hues to match the theme for this month. And so I wanted to create almost a dreamlike space in this month, because all of the ephemera and quotes and words that I'm going to be collecting are going to have to do with the concept of memory. And so new memories that I'm making, recalling things that remind me of old memories. It's kind of a loose concept, but I'm excited to see how I find things to fit that theme. And for each of the months, I then also wanted to ensure that on the ephemera that I chose, grabbed a marker and labeled out the word or the theme for that month. And this one looks a little wonky, but I'm gonna, stick with it. For the month of February, I chose a theme that might seem a little on the nose, but what can I say? Sometimes I'm an on the nose kind of guy, and as I continue to decorate, you'll probably be able to guess it pretty easily. I chose a pink flower washi as the main statement washi and found a kind of solid color that would complement it, as well as some paper ephemera that had a floral essence and a light tan, crumpled paper that also kind of went with the vibe. I wanted to capture the spirit of this month by keeping things kind of dainty and floral, even though for this month, which the theme is love, there's all kinds of love that I would like to celebrate in my capturing of ephemera, quotes, doodles, etc. for this month. And I view love as something that can be romantic love between me and my husband, but also like the love that I have for my friends, family, the love that I have for my community, for my job, anything that is, an expression of my enamored feelings towards parts of my life, I think can be captured in this month. I made sure to stick to my one sticker sheet rule, although I cheated slightly by adding some flowers from this other sticker roll that I had, but mostly I'm using the little people from this sticker sheet to represent different people and their expressions of love. I think I have these two gentlemen here who kind of represent me and my husband, and then a bunch of people kind of in partnership throughout the spread. And so with that, I think I've created a sweet space to celebrate all the different kinds of love that I experience in my life day to day. For the month of March, I chose some washi that had a dark navy or black background and kind of gave off a vibe of space or space travel, because the theme for March kind of lends itself to this idea of a large expanse or a large unexplored, unknown area. I also had this sticker sheet that was terrariums, but some of the terrariums had solar systems inside of them, and I thought that they were really beautiful, and the gold foiling would match the gold foiling of one of the washi that I chose. And so in setting this up, I wanted to capture this spirit of kind of a dark academia vibe without including books, because the theme for March that I had chosen was intellect, although you'll see that in a moment I misremembered and I write the word intelligence and kind of just go with it. I love learning. It's one of the lessons that I've learned from my journey with stationery that I kind of reflected on in my last video. And so for the month of March, I thought it would be fun to collect memories and ephemera, etc., around this idea of learning or intelligence. And I was very lucky to have some scrapbook paper that had constellations on it and was able to use that as a background as well, and using a square puncher, just kind of creating some pieces of ephemera using that constellation paper as well as backing for some of my stickers. And once I get the word intelligence written down, although it was supposed to be intellect, but you just kind of go with the mistakes sometimes, I glued that in and set myself up for the month of March. For April, I decided to use some materials that might not make it super obvious what the theme for April is, but once you think a little bit about it, you'll see that it's quite appropriate. I also did cheat slightly again by using 2 sticker sheets for April, but the 2 items are related, and so I think, maybe I can get away with it. And while I did also pull out this flake sticker to use, I ended up not using it, so it helped me stick to my original plan of trying to use only 1 sticker sheet per month. And so I have this lovely butterfly washi, and I paired it with a gray washi from Muji, and then some gray kind of wallpaper style scrapbooking paper that I had to tear up and use for the title. And I really enjoy this kind of dark, solid background against the vibrancy of these butterflies. And then you'll see when I start incorporating these stickers of the moths and flowers, it allows for those colors to really kind of pop off of the page as well. My theme for April is growth, and I want to celebrate all of the different ways that things are growing or changing in my life. I almost made the theme change, but I wanted to use the word growth to be able to incorporate change that I see as a positive, or like leading me towards more positive outcomes. And so I am going to be collecting ephemera, etc., and memories and quotes and things that celebrate this idea of growth in the month of April. And I like the idea of a butterfly kind of becoming the symbol for that growth as they change so much as they grow. For May, I also had kind of a challenge ahead of me because this theme is a little out there and I didn't know how I was going to find washi and stickers to match it. And then I realized I just needed to kind of create symbols to represent the aspects of this theme. I chose a beautiful, landscape washi tape that had rolling hills and a bright sky from the Van Gogh set, and chose to juxtapose that against a more geometric gridded pattern by choosing a grid washi tape. And then my sticker sheet that I picked was one from Loaf on Paper, Nico Neko Zakaya's stationery coffee shop, and they have a sticker sheet of these cats, and I decided to include the cats enjoying different things, views, music, food, because this theme is the 5 senses for the month of May. And so I tried to find stickers in these sticker sheets that had the cat figures enjoying things using their 5 senses. And so it's kind of an odd theme, but I wanted to be able to celebrate or find quotes or ephemera and things, and to capture memories of just moments in my life that were just sensory overload in the greatest way. Beautiful vistas, a delicious treat, a song that I loved, and I thought it would be really fun to kind of think about it as a feast for the senses, and in May, those are the things that I'm going to want to capture and put down, and I think that these stickers and ephemera kind of capture that really well. For the month of June, I decided to pick out a new washi I had received recently that was kind of this medieval village themed washi, because I knew that I was going to go hard into a theme to represent the idea of this month. I have this sticker sheet that kind of has these Dungeons and Dragon-esque little bears. One's dressed as a dragon, one as a wizard, one as a warrior, one as a guy going on a little quest. I picked this solid color washi to pair with it to kind of create this like old-timey map kind of vibe as I put down the washi and ephemera. I believe I also used some cardboard box, like faux cardboard box paper, like, scrapbooking paper that I tore up, and it kind of creates this rough and ready, rough shot kind of look to the page of these warriors going out on their quest. As someone who plays Dungeons and Dragons and whose husband is really into Dungeons and Dragons, I thought that that kind of Dungeons and Dragon, although albeit through very cute bears, like look was really appropriate for this month's theme of struggle. And so just like a quest, you have to struggle and learn and fight and power up as you go through. I appreciate how the washi and ephemera for this month capture that. I think having something that one might view as a negative aspect of life to struggle is interesting to collect ephemera, quotes, images for, because I also want to highlight how I may have struggles, but those struggles actually cause me to learn and grow and, level up, as you will, in life. And so instead of shying away from having those things in my journal, I thought in June I could capture all of the struggles that I'm having, but also how they have led me to be the person that I am and cause me to learn and become better. One tool that I purchased this year to help me achieve the goal of adding ephemera and photos to the monthly sections in my Hobonichi Cousin is this rectangular lever action craft puncher. This is Birabira brand, and it creates a rectangular punch that fits the monthly section of the Hobonichi Cousin. I was on TikTok and I saw that the Hobonichi official account posted a video of someone punching out perfectly sized rectangles that fit into the Hobonichi Cousin squares. I was obsessed, and I reverse image searched for the punch they were using, and I could only find it on Japanese websites or Japanese Amazon, but they were sold out. They could not find one that would sell and ship to America. And so I went on the hunt of measuring the Hobonichi Cousin monthly rectangles or squares and finding a punch that actually fits the size almost. And so I'm going to do a sample for you right now. I have this piece of ephemera that I saved from the mat that I used in an earlier spread this year in case I wanted to use red paper for something. And craft punches, if you haven't used them, it's pretty simple. You insert and you push down and it punches out the shape. However, there is a viewfinder kind of on the back where you can see more clearly what it is that you're punching. So, for example, maybe I want to get this piece that says the Met. You would line it up into the rectangle, and then all you have to do is punch. And the shape is perfectly cut. This birabira punch that I found is 1 3/4 of an inch by 15/16 of an inch. Now, it is not a perfect fit. So when I go into this monthly section, you'll see that it fits the height of the square perfectly, but it's a little bit longer. I could not, for the life of me, find one that fit perfectly in the square like the one I saw on TikTok. So, when I realized this would be the perfect height, I knew that all I would have to do then is get a pencil, get a ruler, line up the image or the ruler with the edge of the box, draw a little line, and then use my scissors to cut off the excess. And now I have the perfect size piece of ephemera to fit in the box, not covering the date, which I really wanted to make sure I didn't cover so that I could see the piece of ephemera or picture that I punch out what day that it went with. I hope that this has been helpful. May my research make this process easier for you if you are wanting to do the same thing. And so again, that is the birabira branded punch, and it's 1 3/4 of an inch by 15/16 of an inch. And I'll put that up on the screen as well. This is a really great tool, and I'm really excited to use it next year to accomplish my goal of a doodle, a piece of ephemera, a quote, a drawing, a photo, something to go with each day related to the theme. Welcome to the end of my setup video. If you've been paying close attention, you may have realized that there was only 6 months being set up, not 12. And that is because it is taking me a lot longer to set each one up than I thought. I have to go through all of my stickers and ephemera and make sure that they align to the theme in some way. And while it is a labor of love, it's still a labor. And so before I could post this video, I only got about halfway through. I hope that you can forgive me and that you might look forward to seeing what the next 6 months are going to look like. I want to also just have one more moment to thank IEEBEE for sending me this lovely set of 36 washi tapes. One of the things that did make it a little bit easier is having a really awesome collection of washi tapes that I was excited to work with to be able to put into these new spreads. And I only got to work with a few of them, as well as the decorative paper that they sent me, and I'm really looking forward to using many of these other tapes, especially these larger ones, in other projects or spreads in the future. I know in other large tapes that I've had, like this set for example, I've used the tapes for labeling and for decorating other things in my stationery collection. And I'm really excited to have these very beautiful foiled washi tapes to be able to use in those. If you'd be interested in getting a set of these washi tapes or other products that IEEBEE has available for yourself, there's a link in my bio that you can click and get a discount on your next purchase. I'm really excited to have these 6 months set up, and I have to admit that I did go back and fix this. And you're probably saying, Michael, you said you wouldn't, but I did. I knew as the first month in the year, I couldn't have that air staring at me in the face when I went to complete my first month of gratitude, ephemera, quotes, and doodles around the theme of memory. I'm really excited at how all of these came out and how the different bits of ephemera and stickers really match each other, and that I got to match the theme as best I could with the materials that I had. I know you might be a little sad that I didn't get to finish all 12 months, and so I thought I would share with you what the other 6 themes are for the year. So for July, this will be a spread and a theme of joy. And so I will collect different quotes and doodles and ephemera and moments of gratitude surrounding the feeling of joy. In August, it's going to be stationery. I thought I'd get a little meta and have a month where I think about my hobby and the community as a whole. In September, I'll be focusing on words. As an English teacher, well, former English teacher, I love the written word, and as someone who has been exploring poetry in my personal curriculum, I'm just really excited to celebrate words in the month of September. October is going to be creativity. November, community. And finally, December, the concept of hygge, which is the Danish word for, it's almost like cozy comfort. It's kind of hard to kind of put into one thing, but it's this warm atmosphere and enjoying good things in life with good people. When I went to Copenhagen, I learned a lot about hygge and how the Danish people kind of adhere to this way of illuminating their souls, and it was just very lovely. And I think December is a great time to do just that, or highlight that. And so with that, we've come to the end of this video. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope that you have gotten some inspiration or some ideas for your own journaling practice for 2026. What do you use the monthly section in your personal journal for, if it has a monthly section? I'd love to know what other people do. I came up with this idea to kind of just have an eclectic mix of things, but hearing how other people use their planners is always really amazing. I hope that you have a great rest of the day today, whether you have just a few minutes before you're going to hit the bed, or whether you have a full day ahead of you. I hope that it's great. And I hope that you keep exploring all of the joy that a blank page can bring you. Until next time, goodbye.